So, have you ever watched this Christmas story movie? Nobody? Yeah, it's always shows in the holiday season. And until I was studying cultural appropriation, I never paid attention to this. But do you know what this clip is about? You probably don't remember, but you know this family, right? Like a family with the boys and children. I mean, parents. A very nice couple. I actually like watching this a lot. And then so mother. So they had some fiasco with this misdelivered lamp, like a woman's leg-shaped lamp, and mother's Christmas dinner was a totally failure. And so anyhow, long story after, the Christmas Eve, they had nothing to eat, so they came to the Chinese restaurant, which opens all the time, right? So who was it? Amanda, can you explain what happened with these waiters here?
Can you?
Yes.
So from what I remember, when they came there, it was kind of like the Chinese restaurant was treated as like kind of super weird and quirky. Like I think they brought out, it was a goose or something for them to eat.
Duck, yeah, Peking duck, yeah.
Yeah, a duck, and they at first refused to eat it because the head was still present. So then one of the guys just chopped it off in front of them, and then that was a spectacle. And then they kind of like sung one of the Christmas songs in like a really heavy accent, but instead of like saying fa la la la, they had them say fa ra 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 ra.
Right.
It was just a very big spectacle.
Yeah, so yeah, this particular scene is the head waiter want to give some entertainment to this family, and then the popular holiday songs. The waiter is trying to fix the wrong pronunciation of those subordinate waiters or something. But this particular episode is really classic. How non-Western or ethnic culture was presented again in popular culture, and here you can see all those stereotypes of Chinese people, like among themselves they talk loud in Chinese, which they cannot understand. And then, this group of people, Chinese restaurant, they serve weird food from the perspective of this, not only family, but children. And they are, in a way, a little savage because, yeah, they chop the neck right off and, all of those surprises. And then, these Chinese people, they are self-critical of their own pronunciation, right? They try to fix those, wrong pronunciation. And so, we have these legacies of that European people claiming some sort of ownership, or if not an ownership, some sort of a reception of other culture for their own pleasure, like for their own perspective. That's something to think about. But finally, I have 4 slides, 4 or 5 slides that shows fascination with non-European, non-Asian material, and that is woolen textile. So I'm going to finish this quickly. So this one is called jinbaori. Like haori is a men's jacket, but jinbaori is a military jacket that samurais would wear on top of their armor. So it's really big, and imagine that you are putting on something on top of your armor to keep off the coldness. It should be really big and bulky, right? So this one is made of wool and other textiles, and then we know that some of the woolen textiles are actually woven by Portuguese and then imported to Japan as early as 18th century. And then this is made for a daimyo named Maeda family. But here also the patterns that you see over here, these are Portuguese ships. So they liked those kind of exotic materials for exotic materials for exotic subject matters. But so woolen fabric in the 19th century, if you think about the trade between England and China, it was always unfair because China had a lot to sell to England, but England didn't have anything to sell in return. So eventually, what did they sell? As you see in the Opium War, that's why they were selling opium. Other than that, there was nothing to sell. But one more thing that Chinese people really liked, about Britain was the woolen textiles. So here, if you see the long company name, so this is what they trade textiles, but they say, we have this, we have that, and one of their advertisements says we have this. It's called feathery silk, but these are not actually silk. These are woolen textiles. It's called camlet. This type particular weaving is called camlet. So woven fabric of wool produced Britain, France, England, and they are in imitation of the original Central Asian fabric of goat or camel, like a imitation of a pashmina. But the selling point of those British camlet is it was light. So imagine you are wearing something like a blanket on top of your armor. Like armor is heavy, and then you don't want to add another 5 or 10 pounds of layer, right? So woolen jimbauri was very light, like a feather, and that appreciation continued in the 19th century China for sellers. So they say it's light, feathery, materials. So here, this is magua jacket, and you wear magua, on top of your big changi robe. Changi is a big robe, and on top of it, you want to wear magua jacket. And usually, this was good for horse riding jacket because it comes to your waist. But the idea is the same. Your sleeves are really wide because your changi already has a big sleeve. You put the neck over here, and then closures are somewhere here, coming down. Here you can see the closure, so you close it. But because it's an overcoat, you don't want to have, really heavy silk overcoat. So this one is made of woolen textiles. And the red here, trims are made of silk, but if you see here, the main part of the clothing, the red, these are all red camlet. Or if you come to the Edo period, the fukusa, the gift cover, like you make this and put it on top of your gift, and that one usually have your wool. So you have that the red one here, the bottom of it, this is the wool, and then you have elaborate embroideries for your gift wrap, and then it should be returned after you don't use it. And this is a Japanese ukiyo-e prints showing how the wool is raised. So you have the ship, and then sort of a Napoleon-style European gentleman, and then it's a Jesuit, like a priest or something, and then Russia, like a Russian people, they create this lamb in order to create a beautiful textile.